Hello, my name is Dajana Martinez. I'm 32 years old, and I am the first member of my family to have a master's degree. Throughout my life, I've held many different jobs. I have been a cashier at a hardware store, a dog groomer's assistant, an intern at a law office. I have delivered mail for the United States Postal System, and I have been a nanny. Although these jobs paid the bills, I was unhappy in my professional life. In 2015, I graduated with a bachelor's in arts and science from Iona College in New Rochelle. I majored in political science and I planned to go to law school to become an immigration lawyer. During my time as an intern at a law office, I quickly realized that becoming a lawyer was not for me. I was undecided about what I wanted for my future career, and I went from job to job seeking fulfillment. Throughout my life, the library has always held a special place in my heart. I remember when we were young, my mom would take my sister and I to the Portchester Library for story time. My very first time volunteering for the community was at the Portchester Library for the summer reading program. I was in 5th grade, and I loved volunteering at the library. I loved shelving the children's department books because I was able to hear story time again. I loved checking out the patrons' books, and I even got to help create library cards. This was all exciting work for me. During my time as a nanny to 3 children in Greenwich, I would constantly take them to the Greenwich Library and participate in the story time and after-school programs. I had a ton of fun at these programs. I would get them over 20 books a week so that they would always have something to read. I believe I instilled a love of reading for the children that were under my care. During my time as a nanny, I tinkered with the idea of becoming a librarian, but I was too afraid to follow through. I was terrified of starting over at such a late age. After speaking to my husband Giovanni, I realized that the only one standing in my way to happiness was myself. In 2018, I finally decided that I would fulfill my dream of becoming a children's librarian. I enrolled in the Master's in Library and Information Science program at St. John's University in New York. I did not realize how expensive graduate school was. I had had student loans from when I was in undergrad, and I had managed to pay some of them down, with a lot of sacrifice, and now I was going to borrow more money and get into more debt. The very first semester, I borrowed the full amount of tuition. The second semester, I was able to secure a partial scholarship from St. John's University due to my academic achievements. Although I was grateful for the St. John's academic scholarship, it was not enough to cover the full tuition, and I had to take out more money. I began to worry about how I was going to pay for school and how I would complete my degree. In 2019, I met Kathy Townsend, who is a member of the New Canaan Chapter N and a children's librarian at the New Canaan Library. I had an assignment that required me to do a story time at a local library and be reviewed by a librarian. I cautiously approached Kathy one day and I asked her if I could do a story time at the New Canaan Library. Kathy immediately brought me over to the department manager, Marie, and within 15 minutes, I was on the calendar. I was beyond ecstatic. I planned a Thanksgiving story time for 3 to 5-year-olds. And although I was a little nervous, the children and I managed to have some fun. And my story time went well. After my story time, the New Canaan Library offered me a paid internship for the summer of 2020. I was thrilled because my plan was to secure an internship with the library 6 months before my expected graduation date of December 2020, and then eventually land a job with gained experience. Everything was going according to plan. I was happy with the path that my life was going on. I was ecstatic about my future career. Then coronavirus happened, and suddenly nothing was going according to plan. The New Canaan Library closed, and I was unable to do the internship. Although I was sad, I continued my studies, and I approached other libraries in the area to see if I could at least get an opportunity to volunteer. Coronavirus made it impossible. Things started to go from bad to worse when my hours at my job were cut, and I was once again worried about the amount of money that I would have to borrow. I was worried about how I was going to pay for school. Kathy once again reached out to me and informed me about the PEO organization and the PEO program for continuing education. Laura Dice, the chairman of the New Canaan Chapter N, reached out and helped me through the application process for the PCE grant. I was nervous about applying for the PCE grant and getting rejected, but thankfully, the chapter voted to support my application for a grant of $3,000. I was so happy to hear about their support. I am so thankful to the PEO organization and that it exists to help women advance their careers. The grant money that was awarded to me was able to defer the loan amounts that I had to borrow to complete my master's degree. The grant money made such a huge difference for my future. I was able to graduate with a master's in library and information science in December 2020. I graduated with a 3.95 GPA, and I managed to get a part-time position as a children's librarian at the New Canaan Library. I enjoy everything about my new position. I enjoy the story times, the reader's advisory questions and recommendations. I love planning and executing programs for children. I have worked on several programs that focus on STEAM concepts, science, engineering, art, and math. I've created programs that involve kindness posters and rocks for children's grades 1st through 3rd. I love everything about my position. This position will be part of my year of learning. I will absorb as much knowledge and gain as much experience as I possibly can. I know I will be able to find a full-time position at a library. I got my foot in the door, thanks to the PEO organization and the personal touch of the New Canaan Chapter N representatives. I also thank the New Canaan Library for extending the position and giving me an opportunity to fulfill my dream. The PEO organization changes lives. It helped me fulfill my dream of becoming a children's librarian and to achieve happiness. Thank you very much.